Did you know that the mobile gaming industry is now officially bigger than PC and console gaming combined? It's a staggering reality, but let's be honest, trying to play a high-stakes match of Call of Duty or explore the massive world of Genshin Impact using nothing but greasy thumb smudges on a glass screen is a recipe for frustration. If you want to actually compete, you need tactile buttons and precision sticks. Today, we are diving deep into the absolute best iPhone controllers on the market to see which one deserves a spot in your setup. All the links are in the description below. 8. Mocagen MC1 Phone Controller. Did you realize that most budget controllers start drifting within just a few months? The Mocagen MC1 solves that immediately with Hall effect joysticks, and honestly, at this price point, that is a total game changer for anyone tired of their character walking off ledges on their own. What really sets this apart from the pack, especially when you compare it to the heavy hitters like the Backbone, is its incredible case-on compatibility. It has a deep recessed slot specifically for those massive iPhone 17 camera bumps, so you don't have to strip your phone naked just to play a quick round of Apex. While the Backbone 1 offers a more premium app experience, the Mocagen gives you a built-in 600 mAh battery, meaning it won't stay latched onto your phone's battery like a parasite during a 15-hour marathon session. You also get a 3-level turbo function, which is a literal lifesaver in button-mashing shooters. Though, I have to admit, the ABXY buttons feel a bit mushy compared to the clicky feedback of more expensive units. It's a Bluetooth-based beast, so while you lose the zero latency of a wired connection, you gain the freedom to keep your thickest protective case on. Is having a mushy button a deal breaker for you, or do you prioritize that Hall effect precision? Let me know in the comments, because I'm curious if you'd trade clickiness for durability.
Overall, for the budget-conscious traveler, this is a rugged and stylish essential that brings RGB flair without the $100 price tag. 7. NinjaPlusOX Wireless Controller. If you've ever felt like your thumb was lagging behind your brain during a frantic Roblox or COD match, the NinjaPlusOX is designed specifically to bridge that gap with a focus on rugged, mechanical reliability. This controller is a direct competitor to the Mocagen, but it steps things up with dual motor vibration and a telescopic bridge that feels just a bit more stable when fully extended to fit the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Much like the premium SCUF Nomad, it features those coveted Hall effect sticks to prevent drift, but it does so while keeping a much lighter profile in your hands. When you compare it to the Razer Kishi, the NinjaPlusOX wins on versatility because it uses a built-in battery and Bluetooth 5.0, whereas the Kishi is often locked to a specific port type. However, the trade-off is that you might notice a tiny bit of Bluetooth latency in professional-level competitive play, which is something to keep in mind if you're a high-stakes gamer. The RGB lighting is genuinely fun with 6 different modes, and the programmable macro buttons on the back are a feature you usually only see on controllers twice this price. My only real gripe is that the initial pairing process can be a bit of a headache for first-timers. You have to hit specific button combos to get it into the right mode. What do you think? Is a 20 shot per second turbo mode cheating, or is it just smart gaming? I'd love to hear your take on that down below. 6. Backbone. The Backbone 1 2nd Gen isn't just a controller. For many, it is the absolute gold standard of the industry, and it's easy to see why the second I hold it. Unlike the Bluetooth options we've discussed, this plugs directly into your USB-C port for zero latency, making it the top choice for cloud gaming on Xbox Game Pass, where every millisecond of lag counts. The 2nd Gen model finally fixed the biggest complaint of the original by adding magnetic adapters for better case compatibility, though it still struggles with tank-style cases like the OtterBox Defender. When compared to the SCUF Nomad, the Backbone feels much more like a sleek, integrated part of the phone rather than an attachment, and the inclusion of a 3.5mm headphone jack is a rare blessing for those of us who still prefer wired audio. The real magic, however, is the Backbone app, which turns your phone into a literal PS5-style interface, though it does annoyingly gate some features behind a Backbone Plus subscription. The sticks are a bit smaller, feeling more like Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons rather than full-sized Xbox sticks, which might feel a bit cramped if you have larger hands. It's the most plug-and-play experience on this list, and getting 3 months of Apple Arcade for free is a nice cherry on top. Do you feel like a monthly subscription
for a controller app is fair, or is that asking too much after you've already paid for the hardware? 5. White Edition Hall Effect Controller. This 2025/26 White Edition controller is essentially the pro version of the entry-level telescopic controllers, and it looks absolutely stunning in a clean, minimalist setup. It takes the anti-drift technology we saw in the NinjaPlusOX and pairs it with Hall effect triggers as well, giving you that magnetic precision across every single moving part of the gamepad. This is a massive advantage over the Backbone One if you play racing games, as the analog triggers allow for much finer throttle control instead of just an on or off digital click. The ergonomics here are heavily inspired by the Xbox controller, offering a much deeper grip that feels more natural during long-haul sessions compared to the flatter profile of the Razer Kishi. One thing to watch out for is the battery life. Because of the high-energy RGB rings and the dual vibration
Motors, you're looking at about 6 to 8 hours of play, which is significantly less than the 25 hours offered by some of its competitors. It's a Bluetooth beast, so while it avoids the port compatibility issues of wired controllers, it doesn't support vibration on iOS due to Apple's software restrictions. It's a tough choice. Do you go for the sleek software of the Backbone or the indestructible Hall effect hardware of this White Edition? Personally, I think the case-friendly bridge makes this a winner for the average user who doesn't want to fumble with their phone case every time they want to play. 4. SCUF Nomad Wireless. If you are a hardcore console gamer, you know the name SCUF, and the Nomad brings that legendary pro feel to the iPhone for the first time. This controller is a tank, featuring full-sized, symmetrical joysticks that feel like they were ripped straight off a high-end PlayStation controller, which is a massive ergonomic upgrade over the Backbone One's tiny sticks. The standout feature here is the 2 remappable rear paddles. Being able to jump and slide in Call of Duty without taking your thumbs off the sticks is a massive competitive advantage that most mobile controllers just don't offer. When compared to the ShanWan, the build quality of the Nomad is on an entirely different level, with rubberized, textured grips that feel incredibly premium in the hand. It uses Bluetooth 5.0 to stay case compatible, and the SCUF companion app is actually free to use. No subscription required to tweak your dead zones or trigger sensitivity. The only downside is that it's a bit of a heavyweight at 228 grams, which can lead to some hand fatigue if you aren't resting your arms on something during a long session. It also lacks pass-through charging, so you'll need to make sure your phone is topped off before you start. Would you prefer a heavier, more premium-feeling controller like this, or something lightweight and portable for your pocket? Drop a comment and let me know your preference. 3. ShanWan Mobile Controller. The ShanWan 2025 edition is the marathon runner of this group, boasting a ridiculous 25-hour battery life that makes almost every other controller on this list look weak by comparison. It features a unique sunken bridge design that is probably the most case-friendly architecture I've seen yet, easily accommodating even the bulkiest rugged cases and those massive new camera lenses on the iPhone 17. What's really cool is that you get 4 programmable back buttons, M1 to M4, and interchangeable joystick heights, giving you a level of physical customization that even the Backbone doesn't offer. When you compare it to the SCUF Nomad, it feels a bit more plasticky, but it's significantly lighter and easier to throw into a backpack for a commute. The mechanical linear triggers are fantastic for racing games, providing multi-stage feedback that feels very responsive. However, since it's a Bluetooth-only device, you do have to deal with that slight input lag, and the third-party mapping software for Android can be a bit clunky to set up. It's a fantastic mid-range option for people who want a set-it-and-forget-it peripheral that stays charged for weeks at a time. Do you think 25 hours of battery life is overkill, or is it exactly what you need for long flights and road trips? 2. Bcofo Wireless Gamepad. The Bcofo wireless controller is the Swiss Army knife of this list because it doesn't just work with your iPhone, it's fully compatible with the Nintendo Switch, PC, and Android too. Instead of the telescopic stretch design, this uses a traditional controller shape with a detachable phone clip, which is a major win for people who find the wide, stretched-out feel of the Backbone or Kishi to be uncomfortable. It's packed with high-end tech like a 6-axis gyro for motion aiming and Hall effect triggers, making it a serious contender for someone who wants one controller to rule them all. When compared to the 8-Bito Pro 2, the Bcofo feels a bit more modern with its vibrant RGB lighting and built-in 1,200 mAh battery that lasts a solid 16 hours. The main drawback here is the phone clip. While it's convenient, it can make the whole setup feel a bit top-heavy if you're using a massive phone like the iPhone 17 Pro Max. It also takes a while to charge, about 3 hours, which is a bit slow by modern standards. But for the price, getting macro buttons, vibration, and multi-platform support is an absolute steal. Would you rather have a controller that clips onto your phone like this, or one that wraps around it like a handheld console? Let's talk about it in the comments. 1. Megadream Mobile Gamepad. Taking the top spot for its sheer versatility, the Megadream is the only controller on this list that can comfortably jump from a standard iPhone 12 all the way up to an 11-inch iPad Pro. Its universal telescopic bridge is an engineering marvel, making it the perfect choice for
gamers who use multiple devices and don't want to buy a separate controller for their tablet. The newest 2026 models feature a direct Type-C connection for zero latency, giving you the professional speed of the backbone, but with the added bonus of Hall effect sticks and a built-in turbo function. When you compare it to the SCUF Nomad, it might not have the same pro-brand prestige, but its ability to switch between native MFI support and a dedicated key mapping mode for Android makes it much more flexible for a wider range of games. The build quality is rock solid with a reinforced polymer frame, and the inclusion of programmable back buttons ensures you aren't losing any competitive edge. The only catch is that its precision fit bridge means you'll likely have to take off your thickest cases to get a secure connection. It's the ultimate all-in-one solution for the hardcore mobile gamer. Which of these features matters most to you? iPad compatibility or zero latency? Choosing the right controller really comes down to whether you prioritize a case-on experience, zero latency wiring, or the ability to play on both your phone and your tablet. Whether you're leaning toward the polished backbone or the heavy-duty SCUF Nomad, there's never been a better time to level up your mobile gaming. All the links are in the description below, so go ahead and check those out for the latest pricing. If this breakdown helped you decide which controller is going to help you dominate your next match, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next tech deep dive. What's the first game you're going to play once your new controller arrives? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. All the links are in the description below.